Hello everybody. Today's video is just showing you guys how we put together a straight staircase. Any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thanking you. Right, the first things first, I appreciate not everybody's got a lovely big bench like this, but you need to get your strings on a flat surface and get them secured. Then you need to make sure the housings are thoroughly cleaned out, make sure there's no dust, debris, wood chippings, etc. in the housings. Next up, you need to put glue into the tread part of the housing. Don't do the riser at this point, because if you do, by the time you come to put your riser in, the glue will have dried. And that would just be a complete waste of time and glue. And we don't want that. After you've glued up all your housings, you need to put glue on your wedges. So obviously, count how many treads you've got, that'll give you the amount of wedges you need. Plenty of glue, as you can see, and what we do, we just stack them on top of each other. Once you've glued up all your wedges, what you need to do then is put a wedge under each housing. And then, as you can see, pick a tread up, put it in the housing and just push your wedge in. Luke and Daz are working hard in background. Once you've got all these in place, it's time to hammer your wedges into your housings to secure the treads. When you're hammering your wedges home, it's always a good idea just to give them a little tap with the hammer on top, just to make sure they flatten your housings. I also give the treads a little tap on the back just to make sure everything's nice and tight to the front of the nosing. The wedges want to be knocked in so they don't stick out from the back of the treads. If they do stick out from the back of the treads and you can't get them in any further, then you're going to be struggling to get your risers in. So if they do stick out, all you need to do is cut the wedges back flush with the back of the tread. It's not end of the world if that happens, it's just another job, that's all. As you can see, the nosing's tight, the wedges are nice and flat, the treads are nice and flat. That's what we're after. This part's really important. We've got to make sure our treads are square to our strings. If you don't square them up, when you come to fit your staircase, it'll be impossible to level the staircase. So all we do here is make sure our square is flat with the staircase string. And as you can see, the tread's out a little bit. So all I'm doing, I'm putting a bit of pressure and just pushing the tread the way that it needs to go to make sure that the treads are actually at 90-degree angle to my strings. Once you've squared up every tread, it's time to glue your treads up on your next string. Again, use plenty of glue while being as neat as possible. Next, it's a case of laying our treads down into our housings. Got to be really steady with this. Try not to let it slam down. It is quite heavy, but if you let it slam down, it'll knock all your treads out of square. As you can see, it doesn't go straight in, so what I'm doing, I'm just dropping it back down to myself and pushing it back up, and all I'm doing there is just moving the treads ever so slightly so they fall into place. Once that's done, come round the other side and just push your treads into your housings. By using a sash cramp, it's just keeping the treads nice and flat in the housings. You'll notice I'm also squaring each tread up as we go along on this. I'm actually doing this by either leaning on the top string with my left hand, or I'll be pulling back on it depending on which way it needs pushing or pulling. The sash cramp doesn't want to be too tight. If it's too tight, it won't allow you to push or pull on that top string to square each tread up. So you just want to just nip it just a little bit. If you've not got a sash cramp, which I appreciate a lot of people won't have, it's a good idea to put a couple of screws in the top tread and the bottom tread. That's our Luke in background. Some say he's the finest apprentice in Sheffield. Some others say if he put his mind to it, he could run a sub 18 minute 5k. As you can see again, the treads and the wedges are nice and tight in the housings. Really important that, really important. Next up, you want to fit your top nose in. Bit of glue and a couple of 40mm screws should do the job. Again, make sure your nosing's nice and tight before you screw in. Lovely. Next up, we need to put our risers in. So we need to glue our rise housing and the back of the tread. Again, plenty of glue. Try and be as neat as possible. Job's a good one. Once it's all glued up, put each riser in its housings, and then obviously put your wedges in to secure the risers. I done working hard in background on a 6 kite winder. As I mentioned earlier, you'll notice I'm giving each wedge a little tap down just to make sure it's flush in the housings. And again, try not to leave any wedges sticking out of the back. You imagine if a plasterboard is going underneath of that staircase, if you've got some wedges sticking out, you'll not get the plasterboard on without cutting the wedge off. As you can see here, everything's nice and flush. Next up, you want to screw through the back of the risers into the back of the treads. We advise screwing 5 40mm screws evenly spaced along the back of the riser into the tread. We're obviously using a plated screw gun here. It doesn't have to be a plated screw gun, we're just using it for speed. When you're doing a load of stairs like us, that plated screw gun saves so much time. It's a good bit of kit, to be fair. Next, you want to put your bottom riser in. Your bottom riser is always cut down to your floor level. On the bottom riser, you need what we call a backing strip. So plenty of glue on your backing strip, and then 3 screws, again 40mm. One in the middle of the riser, one in the top, one in the bottom. These can be fixed through the front of the riser with the backing strip gun on the back of the riser. The purpose of the backing strip is so that the staircase can be fixed to the floor. Next up, you need to put the glue blocks on the back of the treads and risers. So again, plenty of glue. Don't be scared of using too much glue on the back, especially because it doesn't get seen. We advise 3 glue blocks per tread, and how to position your glue blocks is, if you imagine walking up a staircase where your feet would land, shoulder width apart is where I put the outer glue blocks, and then obviously one in the middle. You'll notice that I'm rubbing the glue block up and down before I pin it on. All that's doing is just getting a good seal between the glue block and the back of the tread and riser. I'm using a 30mm pin to go through the back of the glue block into the tread. It's important you go into the tread and not the riser. If you go into the riser, it'll come out the front. Obviously, if you've not got a pin gun, a 25mm screw through the glue block into the tread will be fine. Dave, who's 6'3", in stealth mode, going past camera, thinking he can't see him. Well done, Dave. Also, if you are screwing these on, it might be worth piloting them first, because otherwise it might just split them. And the final bit to this is just to put a couple of 25mm screws on the angle through the top nosing and the top riser. there we have it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope this video has been of use to some people. If there's any questions or anything, please leave them in the comments below, or obviously give us a call. Thank you for watching.